What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Operation Redwood podcast. I'm Angelo. I'm your host. I'm here with our co-host, Michael. First off, I know it's been a minute, so hello, welcome. New listeners, old listeners, wherever you fall, welcome to the show. We have been in a season. Huh, Mike?
It's been quite a season, yeah.
Yeah. Both good and not so good. We just had our event last month, and I know it was like a big public thing. We didn't really talk about it much, maybe kind of hints here and there, but we did have it. And for the people that were there, so much good feedback from that. Gave us a lot of direction, a lot of momentum, and it was awesome. But almost immediately after that, we all kind of individually hit a different season of life. Life be lifing. And it was one of those things where we just had to make these adjustments where, we had to hold so much good and momentum and all these great things in one hand, and on the other, there's life happening. And sometimes it's not so great. So how do we hold both without falling too deeply into one and just focusing on the good, or just focusing and getting hyper-focused on all the bad things and challenges that are happening in life? So part of what happened was we were discussing the rhythm of this podcast, the direction that we're going, and what's next after such a powerful event. What's next? So before I move any further, is there anything you want to add to any of that, Mike?
I think you're on point. The event was a great time. I just want to speak on that for a minute. I think it was great, the men that showed up, just in general, everybody that showed up. But I think it was a testament to what we talk about here on the podcast, being in arms with brothers and just being open with one another. We didn't ask nobody to be open. We just kind of shared our stuff, and then they followed suit. And I think that was a very powerful event.
I love that insight, actually. I didn't even think about that. Dude, we were moving so fast. I haven't even fully processed that event, and that happened like over a month ago.
It's just been a lot.
It has been a lot. Like, I was talking to, who was I talking to the other day? I was talking to you. I think I was talking to you, bro. See, like, that's crazy, dude. Crazy. But didn't it feel like when we're talking about it, it was a month ago? Almost to date, right? November, yeah. Almost to date, a month ago. Just a little bit over a month.
Over a month, yeah.
Just like, but it feels like it's been 3 months, if not 4 months, have gone by.
Yeah.
Like that much has happened. Like literally right after the event, it was one thing that led to another, and all this really good stuff. And all of a sudden I realized, man, I haven't been to church in a couple weeks. Like, this is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like how much is going on. All good things, right? But I believe in a season where I'm trying, like, I feel like God is teaching me to be able to say yes, be able to say no to the wrong things so that I can say yes to the right things.
Absolutely.
And it's really easy when it's something good over something bad, right? That decision is easy. You're going to choose good 9 out of 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's something good between something potentially better, or something good versus something almost equally as good, but you're not sure which one is, I think those are really the toughest ones.
Can be, yeah.
And I think that's kind of what happened. There's a lot of good things happening, yeah.
You mix in the holiday season on top of that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and happy Thanksgiving, y'all. Happy Thanksgiving. Who am I? I almost forgot. Happy Thanksgiving. That's crazy, bro. That is...
Yeah.
How fast. And I think especially, I think the parents, the folks with kids will agree that once you have kids, time goes even faster. Like, it went by fast before, but I feel like 2025 was like snap of a finger and it was done. Like, we're a couple weeks away at the time of this recording, a couple weeks away from the actual, from 2026. And we're like, whoa. And we were just discussing, we had our first actual meeting since the event. We've kind of had small meetings here and there, but actually sit down and discuss, okay, we've all had time to somewhat digest what's happening next. So let me ask you, Mike, what are you excited for this next season that Redwood is coming out of?
Oh, all right.
It's a big question. I'm sorry.
It's a big...
I actually worded that super wrong. I don't know what I'm saying. I
think you worded it just fine.
What are you excited for 2026? And what was your biggest lesson in 2025 in life in general for you?
We take it that direction. All right.
We'll go there. We'll go there.
Yeah, all right. Well, you know, biggest thing for this year was the coming to Christ. All right. So, and then life completely flipped on its head. Right. Um, but actually, maybe because I don't have kids, right? I think this is one of the longest years I've had, just because it's been filled with so much, such quick movement. From coming to Christ to taking up leadership roles almost immediately, and it's like, all right, cool, God, if this is where you want me. But yeah, and just looking forward to seeing an extension of that for the next year, and specifically for Redwood, just a small impact that we've had that I've seen being a part this year, and seeing how more intentional we become for next year and more mindful of the things we do, that we step into. What do we say yes to? What do we say no to? What do we debate on those yeses for next year? Right. I'm excited for that, to see how we continue to steward this and be there for the men that need it.
That's so good. That's so good. And I know it's exciting, but for me, that's almost like nerve-wracking when we say it out loud, like we're going to have to say no to more things. And I think that's one of my biggest challenges, and also one of my biggest growth points this year is, similar to you, we both come from that entrepreneurial background. So you look at opportunities and you're like, oh, great, because you don't always come, especially when you're starting off as an entrepreneur. I remember, right? Like, you remember what it's like, right? You kind of say yes to every opportunity because you're like, I don't know when I'm going to get this momentum again. Right? So you're trying to say yes, you're trying to juggle all these things and be everywhere and wear all these hats. And then you kind of reach a point in your journey where you're like, this is not effective anymore. When you and I first met and we would go on our romantic walks along the lake,
Sunset or sunrise, sorry, sunrise walks.
Exactly. Birds flying in the background, when we would go on our walks. Early on, we had this conversation about, am I being efficient or am I being effective? Because they're two different things. But people almost look at them as the same thing. Efficiency is you can do a lot of things at a par to subpar level. Effectiveness is actually moving the needle in the right direction. Are you being effective in the thing that you're trying to accomplish, or are you just barely moving the needle? I think because we are such a consumption-based culture, we move and trend towards efficiency. I can multitask. I can do this. I can do that all at the same time. But you're not really being effective in the thing you're trying to be effective at. Like, I want to be a great dad. I want to have a relationship with my kids. I want to be present in their lives. So, but I got to do this, and that. Now, I'm not saying we're keeping everything black and white, right?
Absolutely.
I'm separating those two so that you can eventually kind of plug and play which is going to work best for you. And giving people this formula, this system to think, am I being efficient or am I being effective? It's never clean. But you also need to understand, am I being intentional with where I'm actually trying to go, or am I just trying to juggle all these things that hopefully, I keep it all up in the air?
Right.
Because if you're trying to do all things and be all things to all people, you're not really being effective in what you are called to do, what God designed you to do. And I think we're learning that individually and also as a team. What do we lean into? We have shown that we can be effective, we can be efficient with podcasting, with Ben's events, with small groups, with online, with in person. We did a lot this year. And you were only here for half the year, you know what I mean?
Barely. Yeah.
Barely, right. And in that short time, we did so much. So we proved we can be efficient, but now how can we really be effective?
So would you say that's what you're looking forward to for next year? What was your highlights for 2025?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I think that was the big theme that resonated throughout this year. And it's this, that thought of, am I being efficient or am I being effective? When I was a cop, you had to talk on the radio. You had to listen to the radio. You had to look at your computer. You had to see what was going on in the city. You had to see what other calls were pending. You had to look at your surroundings. So like there's a lot going on, and I was efficient in all that. I was good at what I did. But was I really effective in one of those things because I was doing so many things, but was it really effective in accomplishing whatever I had to accomplish? There's times and seasons in life where you have to be efficient. People may be listening to this like, oh yeah, Angelo, that's so easy to say when I'm dealing with this and I'm dealing with this and I got this going on. I get it. That happens. And you have to sacrifice some of that effectiveness to be efficient and do all these things. But you also, it's just a self-reflection, a point of self-awareness to be like, have I been trying to be efficient too long that I'm just losing effectiveness? It's not working anymore. And I think that was my biggest learning lesson this year. I was efficient, yet I was not effective. I was not becoming the man I believe God called me to be. I was not leaning into the husband I know I could have been or I should be. I was not the leader I should be because I was wearing too many hats. My focus was split up too many different places. So I couldn't really lead and have vision and pour into the guys because I was too busy. All these things. My attention was too split. I think God definitely narrowed my attention this year. I'm preparing for next year, and there's just a lot happening, and I'm just preparing myself mentally, physically, spiritually to steward and manage it all. Yeah, I mean, being efficient versus being effective, that's my definitely takeaway this year. Next year, I'm just excited to lean into what God I feel is calling us to. Hint, hint. Men's event, men's conference, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But it's a big play. I would argue the biggest play. I would argue the biggest play of my career because it leans so much on faith and not on what we can do or what I can do, but what is God going to do with it? It's exciting, nerve-wracking, but if our event last month was any indication, yes, this is needed, and two, I think we are built for it.
Absolutely. I think you touched on, well, you just said it, that it's needed, but men are hungry. They are looking for something to be a part of. They're looking for that healing. They want to be better versions of themselves, and it's very noticeable.
Yeah, you're right. There's a need for it. And I think men just now are actually acknowledging the need as well. It's been a need, but a lot of us have kind of hidden it and just kind of stuffed it down and didn't realize the actual need to surrender, because that word, surrender, does not resonate with men.
I think just us taking that lead of being open, kind of like we saw at the event, gets people a weight off their chest, and they could breathe like, oh, cool. I don't gotta hide.
Yeah.
I don't have to wear this mask. And yeah, I'm excited for what's to come.
Me too, man. Me too. Like I said, it's a blessing having such a diverse team here to do this all together. It's a blessing having you here because, you and I are kind of hand in hand with this day-to-day stuff, and we're just trying to steward it the best we can, and the best is yet to come. I know that.
Absolutely.
So there's this hybrid of our online presence and what we're doing online, and that's where we started. And at the same time, being able to hold the in-person space and create a space for men to be restored, children to be rescued, right? Families to be rebuilt. No, but I appreciate you, man. You've been such a huge blessing to the team, and I love being able to build with you because you're also entrepreneur minded. So
yeah, I'm just thankful that I get to be a part of this. I think I told you the day that I told God, I'm ready. If you allow me to, I would like to get back in the game. And surely enough, the same day, I believe, you give me a call. Hey, what are your thoughts on this? I was like, ha! You must be talking
crazy. Isn't that crazy? Dude, I hope people can experience God in the level where they just are, their faith is unshaken, where they just know with certainty that God is real, God is for them, God loves them, and whatever hurt, pain, struggle that they may be carrying today, God will still use that. He can still use that, and he will still use that to be for the good.
Absolutely.
For you to be better off. And that's happened to me enough times that I can just speak with certainty. Like, I know that's how it is. I know for a fact that's how it is. Am I going to sit there and argue with people that choose not to believe? No, because I get it, right? To them, they haven't experienced that. or they don't believe that they've experienced that, or they believe that they're too far off or they're too dark to be used. That's where my heart falls. My heart breaks for people like that, because I used to be like that. And I used to be so far off, thinking that, what's God gonna do with me? I'm broken. I cuss too much. Like the thoughts I've had in my mind, God doesn't want that stuff. He's not gonna want nothing with me. And yet he continued to redeem me and show that he loves me and show me the goodness, especially when I felt like I didn't deserve it. I can go on all day about that, where I feel like I didn't deserve, yet God's like, no, 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 no. When the world took my badge away and they took that identity and that title, the last thing I held on to was being a son of God. And even in that moment, when I wasn't really that deep into my faith, it was something that I just grew up with and I was just comfortable with. Like the world took everything away. I was literally like butt naked, like nothing. I was nobody but that. Just that. You're the son of God. That was the only thing I held on to. And that's everything that defines me.
Absolutely.
The world can't take that away.
I think on top of that also, it's not only that he'll use whatever situation you're in, but I think just knowing that you're not alone through it. I think when we go through hardship, of all people, men and women, sometimes we feel alone and we feel that emptiness with something else. But knowing that we're not alone, that he's with us through every step, I think is powerful as well.
It's such a trip if you think about it, because sometimes God needs you to get alone for you to realize that you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a trip how he teaches us and speaks to us and reaches out. And sometimes it's like it's through pain, sometimes, a lot of the times, but that's how we learn. And sometimes he needs to get us alone for us to be reminded that we are never alone.
Absolutely.
I am excited. So yeah, guys, we're going to be switching up some of our regular weekly rhythms. You might be in for a treat when you hear some longer episodes, some more guests, some more teachers that we're going to be bringing on so that they can, share their expertise. We're going to be opening up some of our network here at Redwood, the awesome men and women we've been able to connect with. They're going to be hopping on the show as teachers, as guests. At the same time, don't be surprised if you get little 5-minute lessons, 5-minute little short episodes, insights for you guys to take away, because we know like sometimes it's hard to listen to 30-45-minute episodes, and sometimes people are just they just want to digest, take something in and digest and go, and that's okay. I mean, we're trying to just steward what we can, the best way we can. Mike, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being here. I'm looking forward to 2026 and beyond.
Same here, man. Glad to be a part.
All right, y'all. We'll catch you guys. I don't know, maybe next week. We'll just have to see. You're just gonna have to check into the show and see when we release, because we're literally in the middle of figuring it all out. So
keep notifications on.
Keep your notifications on. That's why you gotta hit what's that thing? Hit the bell. Hit the bell, right?
Hit the bell.
All right, brother.
All right.
All right, later, guys.